Yo! Welcome back to another edition of the Cruising Podcast. I'm your host, Andrew Cruz, and today is November 26th, Saturday, and more Saturday. Yeah. Okay, hold on. I gotta start switching up some things real quick in the little bit of the closet area. You already know that's where the studio is. But where you can find the latest updates of the Cruising Podcast is on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, Patreon, anywhere else you can find your podcast needs. That you can find the Cruise Podcast. Also, you can find latest updates of the show is on Instagram at Cruising Podcast, also on Twitter at Nicetown Finest. I understand. I get it. My fault. This is on me. But I probably needed these week and a half off to like it was just back to back, just bad things, not bad things, but just back to back, just things happening in the world of nerdum, in the world of me, in the world of everything else. So apparently we went 7 days in a row having mass shootings or mass murder happening. One of them being very close to a little too close to where I used to live, another place I used to live. Um, uh, is and two childhood stars, childhood people that I grew up. The one of them, the voice of Kevin Conroy, of course. Everybody knows I love Batman. Really, my love for Batman started with really Adam West, but it was it had its staying power with Kevin Conroy as Batman, the animated series. Like it was one of the greatest TV shows. To me, I watched a lot of TV in my day, and I know people always want to say live action TV shows are the best and all the rest of that cool. I think Batman the animated series was literally one of the greatest shows of all time. It's just where I'm at, and it's due to the fact that Kevin Conroy's voice was so iconic, so just it's what we thought Bruce Wayne and Batman, the difference between the two were. There was actually a difference between the two people in one body, and he perfectly displayed that. I was so happy to see him play Bruce Wayne in the Batwoman. I think it was the Elseworlds. It was the Elseworlds uh crossover on CW. And he played I want to say he played Batman for sure. A Batman that murdered. Um and the Batman that had to get his legs fixed and all the rest of the stuff. I mean, it was just I was so happy to see him finally play out the role that he's been doing a voice of and really just got to play it out as himself, as an older Batman, of course. Rest in peace to Kevin Conroy, man. You shaped my childhood love for Batman, and everybody, anybody that knows me, like personally knows me, they know my favorite two biggest things, especially like that'll be very nerdy to others, is Batman and Ninja Turtles. That's my two things, and like I said, Kevin Conroy was the one that really gave Batman my love for Batman that much more, and he's truly missed. Um, and then another one is Jason David Frank, aka the Green Ranger, aka the White Ranger. Um, all right, let's keep it a buck though. Let's keep it a buck. Green Rangers jumped onto the scene. Tommy Oliver jumped onto the scene, beating the shit out of all of the fucking Power Rangers. By the way, I think he go like a 5 episode streak where he just like when he first appeared for the first like 5 or 6 episodes, he's beating the shit out of the whole Power Ranger gang. He beat the shit out of them. I'm not even gonna lie, it was amazing. It was a great like this is the first time we really saw the Power Rangers was losing, and it was the Green Ranger beating the shit out of everyone, and it ended up being one of her classmates that was one kicking their ass who just moved there. He was a new guy, and he sat there and said, "Fuck, I'm just gonna fold these mother." He folded the shit out of all the Power Rangers. Let's just be real for a second, and let's give ourselves that he beat the shit out of them. All right, like damn near 5 episodes. All right. So first of all, secondly, Jason David Frank never got rid of being the Green Ranger, and it seemed like it became his identity, which is amazing because most guys at that time, oh, he's probably what, 18, 19 at the time when he first started playing, when he first started being Tommy Oliver. It probably most people want to get away from that. Most people, like, if you tell them like, "Yo, man, I'm so happy, man, you shaped my childhood." Most actors, actually, to tell you the truth, kind of want to shy away from it, and it feels like he just went head in with it and kept going in with it. And that was amazing to me. When the Power Ranger movie went fucking off. I don't care what anybody tells. Mighty Morphin Power Ranger, the first movie that came out. I remember us going to the theaters, and when he became the White Ranger, was fucking amazing. I think he has one more project that they actually filmed. I think it's actually in post production right now. The Legend of the White Dragon. Now, this could be problematic for some people. Um, not because it's a Power Ranger movie. It's gonna be another Power Ranger movie. It could be the name White Dragon could be kind of there's a little stigma behind White Dragon. He was a racist person from the fucking DC comics. Okay, so if you can separate those two, he was a white supremacist. See that's what the White Dragon. Actually, the White Dragon shows up in Peacemaker. Just put it out there. If you haven't seen Peacemaker yet, that's your fault. Yeah, that's what the White Dragon is. But his last movie will be the Legend of the White Dragon. And then like he always made appearances as the Green Ranger or Jason David Frank. You know, I think he had some MMA fights in him too. So he was really about it. If you really wanted to fold somebody, you could fold somebody. But I watched the video of him saying, somebody told you they don't want if somebody told you they don't want to be a hero anymore, you shouldn't be standing in that line. He said, I'm glad that y'all come and tell me that. I'm happy. You know, I'm whatever pain. I really I don't know the situation. All I heard was a parent suicide. It was a parent suicide. I don't know. Allegedly. I don't want to put any smut on any names or anything like that, just in case. But um, it sucks because I wish we knew. I wish there was a time we knew. It was just it's sad, man. It's sad that some people just suffer in silence sometimes, and they just don't have that outlet. I wish the Green Ranger was the outlet for him. If it is true. It's sad. Rest in peace, Jason David Frank. Rest in peace, Kevin Conroy, and one more rest in peace to Anthony Rumble Johnson. I don't know if I was on. No, I haven't done the show since he passed away. Um, this one got me. This one got me a little bit. I'm not gonna lie to you. I've always been a big fan of Anthony Rumble Johnson. I've always been a big fan of his. I that was one of my favorite. He was like one of my favorite MMA fighters. I still don't know how bro sucked down from what was he, 200 pounds? Like he'd be walk around weights like 205, and somehow he sucks all the way down to 170. Like if you get him out the first round back in the day, you might win. You gave yourself a little bit better of a chance, but I'm telling you, in the first round, Anthony Rumble Johnson would nuke you just because he probably didn't have too much more time left in the rounds. I mean, in round like time to fuck you up, But I still remember the fight where he fought like everybody was talking about how Phil Davis was going to walk through him, like Phil Davis wrestling was just going to be on tilt. And this is I think his first time fighting in 205. And he was huge for a 205er. And I was like, this dude made 170 at one point in life. Like this guy walked around and sucked all the way down to 170. And he beat the living shit out of Phil Davis. I think, and I was like, I think me and my brother were watching it, or I was watching by myself, and he didn't get to catch the fight. But I remember I was just like, yo, he just walked through his punches. Every time he got punched, it just seemed like, all right, cool. He just walked through him and just threw another five, 6 combo. Like Anthony Davis is one of the best, man. And I heard nothing but amazing stories about him. That's all I've heard. The only thing I've heard about Anthony Davis. Anthony Rumble Johnson. I'm sorry, I don't know why I said Davis. Did I say Davis? If I said Davis, I'm sorry. Only thing I've heard about Anthony Johnson was that he apparently was a very nice person, was a very genuinely beautiful person. And it's sad that, he passed away at such an early age, man. 38 years old. That's very early in life, man. And condolences to his family and everyone. That's one of my favorite memories of him was when he just straight walked through fucking Bill Davis. There was some many times that he walked through other men. You know what I'm saying? Like Alexander Gustafsson and um oh shit, man, not Koscheck. Was it Koscheck? No. Fuck, I'll remember later. It's just it's so many other fights. I just remember him just walking through shit, and I just wish he beat Cormier at one point. I think he was supposed to fight John Jones, if I remember correctly, but I don't think they ever fought. Um, but yeah, man, rest in peace, Mr. Rumble. Um, hopefully the pain, hopefully whatever pain you were going through is gone wherever you are, man. You know. Yeah. So, and then we've also had shootings. The the two the th- I think what one was at a high school, or a couple was at a high school, right? One was at a Walmart, which I will talk about soon, and one was at a gay club. Where um five people were killed by a gunman who I don't know. I just I don't get it. I don't get why you feel like in your life that you have to be so angry to a point to where you're going to pick up an assault rifle, you're going to pick up a semi-automatic gun and start shooting into a crowd because you hate their love for someone else, for their love for another person. You know what I'm saying? Like it doesn't matter. I'm not saying male, male, female, male, male, female, whatever. However you identify yourself, but you hate yourself so much that seeing someone else be able to love and be loved gets you to blind violent rage. It's sad, man. And they interviewed his dad, which was the biggest fucking mistake ever. The shooter's dad. I'm sorry, the shooter's dad. They interviewed his dad, and I'm just sitting here in my mind, and apparently, I just found this out today, actually. That he was a former UFC fighter, and so when he was talking with kind of the slur, I was like, "Oh yeah, brain. There's definitely brain injury there. There's definitely something like that. You don't put those type of people in front of a fucking camera." I know everybody wants the parents to be the ones to answer to this shit. I know people are looking for answers to this, but the only answer for real is with the shooter. That's who needs to be asked what's going on. And I wish that they never showed the mugshot of these people because, in my opinion, it it reinvigorates those other dipshits that want to do the same thing. I really do. I think it just gives them I want to do this. All right, now all right, we're going to do this now. All right, cool. So we're going to be famous. Our names are going to be known. They're going to show my mugshot. That's a no brainer, baby. That's why I think happens. I really do. I think it's just a and I'm sorry, I know this is gonna get a little dark, but they have they I've been hearing from other, different podcasts, different news networks that they are having like scoreboards. Like they're calling them scoreboards. And they're trying to beat the highest score, like a game, and I know people are gonna be like, oh well, like it's a game to them. Human life is game to them. It's just sad, man. It's sad that we live in a world like this, man. Um, Now the one that's very near dear to my heart is the Battlefield Walmart. I think that's just to me that one is a disgruntled employee. It seems like an angry employee that just must have been having a horrible day and took it out on his coworkers, and it's horrible. But um It's in the it was from Battlefield. So all right, so I used to live in Chesapeake at one point in life. Um, this is the first known Walmart in my memory. I know probably we've been to them before. I know my mom and my family could probably tell me we've been to different Walmarts before, but this is my memory. And the first memory of a Walmart that I remember ever going to is the Battlefield Walmart in Chesapeake. That's the first one we went to. We lived in Chesapeake for about 2 to 3 years. That's the first Walmart I ever went into in my memory. And now my family probably tell you something different, but that's what I remember. And like everybody knows, I did a whole episode on the Virginia Beach shootings. Like, so the Virginia Beach shootings, I used to go to school right across the street. Now it's a middle school, but back in the day, that the Virginia Beach courthouse was across the street from high school, from across the street from a McDonald's. So that I used to walk through the woods, go to the 7-Eleven next to the McDonald's and get and we used to whenever I had a little bit extra money, that's what I used to do. Especially for tennis matches, sweet tea and chocolate eclairs before tennis matches. It was weird, I know, I understand, but it was it was a ritual, so eat it. But the Battlefield Walmart, man, it sucks because knowing that's the first one you've been to, knowing that you could still be living in Chesapeake, you could have been a shopper at that day. You know, it's sad. It's really sad that we live in this type of world now where apparently everybody has a gun and a lot of people are angry and they don't know where to displace that anger except for into other people. And it, to me, I think is a failure in the system, in the American system. I think it's a failure in American homes. I mean, I know people won't agree with me, but that's fine. I don't. I know most things. Most people I listen to, they sit here and say, "Well, this is the fatherless. This is the fatherless thing right here." That dude had a father. The one that for the Colorado gay club shooter, was it Club Q, High Q? Was that what it was? I know it was something Q. So if please let me know. Um, I know it was something Q. I know you guys are like, what the why you keep saying that? Well, that's what it was. It's exactly what type of club it was. I'm sorry. That's the type of club. If it was a strip club, I want to continue to say it's a strip club. But to me, that guy had a father. The father apparently was not a great one. Clearly. I mean, the guy he slur like he's talking in a slur. He's not even drunk or high, probably. Not yet. Hopefully. It was like 8 o'clock in the morning. We don't know. I don't know his business. I don't know his life. But this people keep saying like, "Yo, this is man, this is the fatherless. This is the fatherless guy, the fatherless sons." What the fuck does that mean? I mean, I'm not going to say I was fatherless, but I'm not going to say, my mom was a single parent. You don't see me walking in being angry and shooting up things. You don't see, I know plenty of people that have single parents that they might get angry, but the worst they're going to do is might punch someone in the face. Might get a little violent, but but not there. So when y'all sit here and start to blame certain things, man, like no matter what, it doesn't matter what type of home they were in, the home was the failure. Home is supposed to be where the peace is. That's where you're supposed to have peace. If you don't have peace at home, what the fuck you think is going to happen when you get out? You know what I'm saying? Like what's going to happen when you get out of your threshold of your house when you don't have any peace there? You're going to go and start creating havoc somewhere else. So how about we fix the home situation? Sorry. Well, how about we fix it? Or, you know, something, do a study on that. I bet 99% of serial killers that we have, that people have dived into have had terrible home situations, terrible parenting, terrible living situations. Well, mostly terrible parenting. So I'm sorry. And most of the, it's hard, man. I understand parenting's probably hard, especially nowadays because these kids know everything. These kids got really the world at the palm of their hands. You know what I'm saying? Literally on the palm of my hand back in the day was a fucking number two pencil. It's paper. That was it. You know how we got news? We got news from our parents. We got news from like our parents were getting news from the newspaper or from news networks that were actually objective, not talking about one side or the other. We need to get back to that, or we're going to continue to have this failure. It's a failure at the home level, in my opinion. Now, it's just my opinion. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a social scientist. I'm not all that. I'm not any of that. I mean, I would say it's not a gun issue, but it's a gun issue also. I feel like there needs to be stricter rules into getting a gun. There should be. There should be. Or everybody should have one. I don't know. Maybe that's the case. Maybe that's another case to be made too. Everybody should have a gun. Everybody should have access to a gun. No, I think it should be a little bit harder to get it. I think you should be allowed to protect yourself. You should be able to protect yourself. Right to bear arms, right? So that's where the gun debate kind of gets for with me. I to me, I think there should be stricter rules to getting them. I know that there is a black market for them. I feel like there should be probably heavier penalties for it, especially if there's bodies on the gun. So that's just my case, man. I don't mean to be Debbie. Oh my gosh, I don't mean to be Debbie Down or anything like that. Hopefully, you guys don't think of me as that way. But if I just it's sad, man. I'm sick of watching this pretty practically what people. Yeah, I feel like people just look for sadness for all the wrong reasons. You know, so sorry, y'all. So, for the past week, the reason why I really haven't had a show for the past week, I don't know what it is, and I'm seeing it on Twitter too. I got like really fucking sick last Sunday. Last week. Sunday, yeah, shit. Last Sunday, I got really fucking sick. I felt like shit. Like my throat hurt. I was coughing. I had phlegm. I couldn't breathe. I couldn't do a lot of shit. And I had a headache. I had a headache all day. I got home and got upstairs, laid sat on the couch, and I was like, fuck, I'm stuck here. My back started hurting immensely. Like my back was bad already, but when I was like feeling weak, oh yeah, I had chills and weakness, and I was just like, fuck, this is kicking my ass. I drank all the tea. I was doing all this other shit. I was just like, this is kicking. I don't know what this is, but it's whooping my ass. It's kicking. It's winning right now. It is kicking my ass. And then I talked to my brother, and he said, "Yo, I was feeling the same way. That same day, I was feeling the same way. I promise, the whole day, that morning, I didn't feel shit. I was fine. I know I was fine. I know for a fact I was fine. Andrew Cruz was good. And then I woke up and I was like, and then and then when I got home, I was just like, fuck. I started feeling like a tingle in my throat in the plane. And then I woke up and then I got home and I was like, shit, this is not good. Well, I don't know what it is. I still don't know what it is. My throat still hurts a little bit. It feels like I got like one of those like whenever you get a cut in your mouth, and I call them we call them ulcers in our mouths. It shit hurts like a bitch. That's what it feels like in my throat right now. So I'll probably have like another day or two of throat pain before that shit goes away. No, everybody's gonna insert joke there. I'm gonna need you to grow the fuck up. But the shit, like, I don't know, it was the weirdest thing. I was feeling fine. I felt fine all weekend. All weekend I felt fine. The problem is I walked around a lot. So my back was like shit. shot. You know, I finally get to see a specialist on Monday, which is great. I really need to see the specialist to figure out point of fucking shit that probably we need to do. Figure out whatever I need, whatever avenue I have to take with this. Very nervous. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm very nervous about this conversation I'm about to have with these people with with the doctor on Monday. Um, it's just this is 2 months too late to me. I feel like most motherfuckers would have got this shit. This shit would have been down pat within the week of me being injured. But they only X-rayed the fucking back. I just we're not gonna get into it. We're not gonna get into it. I'm just happy finally something's moving in the right direction. I think I'm sure want to get phone calls on Monday, but I'm gonna let people. This is I've already let people know ahead of time what is going on. And it's also, this is out of my control. It's not in Andrew Cruz's control when the shit got scheduled. I mean, like, apparently there's some other people that have been fucking kind of blocking this shit. So I'm not gonna say any name. I'm not gonna say shit else. I'm not gonna say shit else. But I'm just gonna let it be known. All right. Also, also one more thing, and just in case. I don't give a fuck if you had the worst Thanksgiving of your life. I don't care if you had a bad day just going into certain places. Okay? Don't take that bullshit out on other people. Please stop. I'm asking. Like, I want to stop too. I promise. I'm not promise. I want to try my best. If some shit goes down on my end personally or whatever, I'm not going to sit here and try to find the smallest thing to go off on people about. Especially when people are walking in happy, ready to go and things like that. Like, come on, man. Why bring that shit to us? Come on, man. Fuck that, man. I don't like that shit. I don't like that not one bit. And now to see it outwardly, it was like that's the biggest narcissist shit I've ever seen in my life. Like misery loves company. So I'm not gonna be your company for this misery, Jack. You're gonna be by yourself on that one, man. I want to have a great fucking day and go to fuck home. That's what I'm going to do. So you can go eat that. That's bullshit in my opinion. Like be a fucking better leader. That's how leaders lead by example. That's how leaders lead. If you're going to start talking, be about your shit. That's how I feel about it. That- That's just how I was as a leader. Sorry, still got a lot of shit going on, throatly and chestly. All right. Next. Do I do a Wakanda Forever review? Um, I should. Actually, I will. I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. It was a good movie. What is this? Okay, I was just checking. I had to check something on my phone. Yeah. LeBron put up 39 points and 7 threes on November 26th, 2022. He is 37 years old. LeBron James at 20 years old, same date, 17 years ago. Yeah, 17 years ago. 38.6 threes. Holy shit, LeBron that's fucking ridiculous. That's just fucking ridiculous. All right, my bad. Sorry. All right. Forgot what I was doing. Forgot what I was talking about. Let's talk about Wakanda Forever for a second, man. It was good. It was good. It was a good introduction to Neymar, in my opinion. I think if it did one thing correctly, if it did a couple things correctly, I would say they did a great job with displaying Neymar and his motives. I know everybody's like, "Well, what was his motives?" And no, we clearly know what his motives was. Get the fuck out the ocean. The fucking up the ocean. Don't touch the shit that we found too, like that y'all let you Wakanda protect, but we're not allowed to protect you. Get the fuck on off. And then I think that Neymar was a good introduction. This was a very good introduction for him. Nakia, fantastic. I'm sorry, we're not supposed to. Oh my bad. The costume was on point. But Okoye, fantastic too. Um, some of the costumes on point. But to me, also the introduction of Riri Williams. Um, Great introduction to her. I think that you know I was mad about this the Iron Man suit though that she made her Iron Heart. Yeah, just in case everybody doesn't know, her code name is Ironheart. Oh man, this is the most I've talked in a very long time since my throat was killing me. So this might be the last thing I can do right now. Goodness gracious, this sucks. Um, we'll do a Bleach review tomorrow. I'll do Bleach. Okay, all right. Finish, before I finish, it's going to be a Bleach review and a Chainsaw Man review tomorrow. That's what we're going to do because this is the longest I've talked, and clearly I'm running out of steam. For kids, that's how boats used to go. But Riri Williams to me, that was a great introduction to her. And I know I at first glance her Iron Man suit was fucking horrible. It was horrible. But just to remember, just letting you guys just let us all remember though, the first Iron Man suit from Tony was pretty fucking bad too. Now, difference between what she was dealing with and what Tony was dealing with was that that was just practically that was the only way Tony Stark was going to survive in Iron Man. And I think that that's where we need to kind of it's probably where I need to pump my brakes for the suit. I was like, yo, this suit is fucking horrible. But I think the first couple suits that Tony had were not the greatest. They were very bulky and very like something was wrong with the design. Like almost how War Machine's suit was before, too. The only difference between the War Machine suit and the Iron Man suit is that I think War Machine has way more weapons on it, so it needs to be a little bit more bulkier. I think that the Ironheart suit will get better as we get through the MCU, as she comes more and more into the MCU. By the way, we're having a Young Avengers. I don't give a shit what anybody tells me. All the Young Avengers are here. They're here. We have met all of them. So what the fuck are we doing? Where do we except for Amadeus Show? We haven't met Amadeus Show either. I think that might be the last one that we needed to meet. It's the last one we need to find. All right, his mom has shown up in the MCU before, but I think that I can pump my brakes a little bit on her suit because Tony's suits were not as good yet, and also Tony had a pretty much endless amount of money to build his shit. Actually, the second suit she made, she had endless fucking money. Now think about it. I don't know. I think it's just the first two designs of it. You know, they were going to be a little bit bulkier. I think that's what it is. I think we're going to have more sleeker costumes later on. Um, I think another negative for me was like, yeah, it's cool to have Shuri as the queen, not as the queen. I'm sorry, as Black Panther. It made sense to make her Black Panther, but there was a storyline that you could have had also to where you could have. I feel like what did Shuri actually show to us, fighting ability wise, to make us think that she can go toe to toe with Namor? She's scientifically smarter. Don't get it twisted. Scientifically and smart shit, she was on the same level as Tony. Tony couldn't fight, but all of a sudden now she can fight. Now I know her brother probably told her a few things. I know Koye probably helped her out a little bit, which is cool. But in my opinion, they could have went a different route. And to me, we all knew it was probably going to be Shuri, but I just wish that we got more action scenes with her before she became Black Panther. More like telling us, "Oh yeah, okay, so this is what she can do fighting wise." And we never really got that. And I felt like it was kind of a rushed decision, understandably. It was a great tribute to chat with Bozeman. I think this was their love letter to him. Like the first act of the movie was definitely their love letter to Chadwick Boseman. Also, none of the Avengers showed up to Black Panther's funeral. By the way, just letting everybody know. Seems a little skittish to me. Seems a little dicey for me. But we're not. We're gonna leave it alone. Um, all right. So I was told about a fan theory that Wakandans needed a Black Panther after Chadwick Boseman after T'Challa died, and they actually buried No, well, buried is a pretty fucked up word to say. They actually put, I guess, yeah, pretty much buried, Killmonger in the sea. They actually put him in the sea, and apparently, him being dropped in the sea, first of all, was a disruption of the ecosystem for Neymar's people. Kuyakan, could the Kuyakan, something, yeah. And then them needing a Black Panther, they went to get to extract them back from the sea, and that's what started the war with Namor because it disrupted them once again. And I think that fan theory would have been fire as shit because they would have gave him the plant, the heart shaped root, and he would have became Black Panther again. The problem is Killmonger, so you don't know what the fuck is gonna go through his mind once he becomes Black Panther. I know everybody's like, "Well, he's dead. I don't give a shit." Well, fuck you. All right. I think bringing him back as, but I think the okay. So that was a pretty good to me. That would have been a great fan story. But to bring him back in the way they did, it was good. It made sense because vengeance was the only thing on his mind. They killed his father. They killed his father. His T'Challa's father, T'Chaka, killed, Killmonger's father. Understandably, he wants revenge, and also he wants to help out his own community. That's what he wanted to do. That's vengeance on his mind. Now, Shuri took the root, took the plant with knowing that she had revenge on her mind the whole time. Revenge because Namor killed her mother. So now I have revenge on my mind. You think you're gonna go to the astral plane with the other ones, with the other Black Panthers? It's not gonna happen. That wasn't gonna happen at all. The person that she sees with everything burning and it's dark and it's and fire around. It made sense that Eric Killmonger is the one that came to that that came to her. It made all the sense in the world. It made all the sense that he got into her head to really take charge and take this revenge on him. You need to kill that mother. You need to kill him. That's what it is. So if I was to score Black Panther Forever, I think it was as much as I've bashed it, I would give it an 8. Give it a cruising 8. But I would like to say, I know most people won't like this movie because it wasn't a lot of action. It wasn't the biggest action-packed Black Panther movie. It didn't need to be. What it needed to be was a love letter in the beginning, like it did for Chadwick Boseman. It needed to display the acting ability of all of this ensemble cast. I think that's where this was an A+ rating, was the fantastic cinematography and the fantastic way they accentuated all these great actors into doing what they do best, is acting and not doing just action scenes, not just doing, we're gonna fight everything. This wasn't one of those movies. It didn't need to be one of those movies. This was a hero's tale. This was a retelling of Black Panther. This is why would I have all the action sequences, the rubbery fuck up of the CGI? Why would I want that? I think this was probably the best acted movie in all of MCU so far. This is the best case of acting. This is an acting masterclass in MCU so far. This was what most of these directors, these old school directors that have been bitching. This was the non-theme park movie. This was a great fucking introduction of great acting. And by the way, I'm not saying there hasn't been great acting in the other movies. I'm saying that the action did not overpower the movie. And that's what made this very good, and this is what made it very different from every other MCU movie. I hope everyone enjoyed it. I really do. I thought it was a great experience no matter what. We needed it again. Um, so sorry. All right. Shit. Okay. So just we on there. That was pretty bad. But I would like to say thank you so much for listening to the Cruising Podcast. I am back. I'm gonna try to do another episode tomorrow. Hopefully, my voice will be there for you guys. Um, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I know it was a little bit of a downer episode, but hey, man, sometimes we have to have downs, get the ups. We have to fucking have rain to appreciate the sun. That's how it is. So, I would like to say I love you guys. Stay safe out there. Um, so first, where you find the Cruising Podcast is on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, Patreon, anywhere else you can find your podcast needs. You can find the Cruising Podcast. Also, you can find latest updates of the show is on Instagram at Cruising Podcast. It's on Twitter at Nicetown Finest. And with that, I like to say I love you guys. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. I'll catch you guys later. Love each other, hug each other, do all that cool shit. That and also, yeah. My bad. Happy holidays. Happy holidays to whoever celebrated the holiday or whoever didn't. Good shit. But with that, I like to say, love you guys. Don't do anything you wouldn't do. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. And I'll catch you guys later. Deuces.